This is NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runner's Alley. We are at the 2021 Black Bear Invitational here at Co-Brown, Northwood Academy in Northwood, New Hampshire. I'm joined today with Jim McKenzie. He's going to bring us through some of the individuals to watch.
Well, today's a girls' race. It's unbelievable. Stacked. Guilford's Kat Stowe. Concord's Marley Nyan. Shelly Smith. No Alina Pencost today, so that's going to hurt Concord's chances. Bedford's Fiona Lee. Bowes Maya Brochu. Dover's Brooke Marshall's had a heck of a year. Mackenzie Cook of Oyster River. Pinkerton's starting to come on. They got Contessa Silver, Isabel Grew, PCA. Hey, Brianna Malone.
Oh, yeah.
She knows this course as well as anybody. When it comes to Miley Blitz is not going to be here today. She would have probably been the favorite. Conant's Kylie Aho and Co-Brown Sheldon Fisher and Amy Patalina of Hollis.
Yeah, so like you said, a lot of individuals to watch today. A little bit different format than years previous. We're a little bit later in the season. Because of that, we don't have 9 on the varsity side. And that will alter team-wise a little bit. But competition, we've got a stacked field. We're looking at 5, I believe, ranked girls teams, and then 1 who's knocking on that door. That is number 4, Dover, number 5, Oyster River, 6, Concord, 7, Pinkerton, 8, Winnicott. So that is 4 through 8. We imagine that after today, a lot of those spots will shake up, and that team knocking on that door, better look out for Bedford. They might be a little bit hungry to crack into that top 10 today.
Yeah, I think it's about time Bedford gets in there.
D1 school, a little bit later in the season, that usually goes to the D1 programs. Having those extra numbers be a benefit here. We don't know who's injured, who's not at this point in the season. Looks like Coach Fisher giving some last commands right now. Getting the girls all hyped up. We're about to get started.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited about this girls' race. It's going to be a good one.
And they're off, your 2021 girls varsity at Black Bear Invitational. Bit of a win today.
I guess so, huh? That wind's starting to rip. All from the east. Brooke Marshall taking it out to the front.
Looks like we can see our leaders now. Malone out in front, along with
Brooke Marshall. Believe. Two-team battle. Kenzie Cook of Oyster River. Molly Nyan. My Doobie. So we're now start looking for teams. Pinkerton's got 2 up there. Co-Brown's got 2. Concord's got 2. Pinkerton looks like they're the early leaders.
That's 2 and another 2.
There's their 5th right there.
They already had 1.
Pinkerton's got the early lead. Be good for them, huh? They pulled one out.
Especially when you consider rankings. Still plenty of time left, though.
Yeah, so we're 2 weeks out from the real prize. I think the divisions are the real prizes for the most schools that have never won it.
No, I think most schools, that's what they're looking to peak at. You know, you've got some schools that might be thinking me a Champions New England type deal, but a lot of schools doing well at divisions is where it's at. I think it was a pretty good race. I mean, we saw those 2 out front, but after that, you know, it was kind of a pack.
Yeah, still, all the favorites are there. Be interesting to see who survives it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it's real racing.
Absolutely.
That's what we want. And there's no prohibitive favorite.
Right. And it's funny, you know, we're talking about 2 weeks from now. This is a good course for that. It's a good comparison.
It is very comparison. And times are very comparison to one another.
And speaking of times, we'll go see what time it is at the 1 mile.
So we're here at the first mile, and it looks like in first place we have...
That's Brianna Malone. First is Christian.
And Oyster River.
Brooke Marshall. Mackenzie Cook, Oyster River.
Yeah, Oyster River's number 2 is coming through.
Bedford Fiona Lee up there.
Co-Brown's
nice
1. Co-Brown's 1. That's Sheldon Fisher.
That's 2 for Dover.
2 for Concord. And I think that's Oyster River's 2nd or 3rd.
I think that's 3 for Concord. 3 for Pinkerton. Co-Brown's 2nd. 4 for Pinkerton.
Yeah. Pinkerton's coming right up.
Yeah, Oyster River up there too. Oyster River is the top seed in this race, but they're all pretty close. Or actually, Dover is the top seed, sorry. And then Oyster River is right behind them.
Yeah, but it's the first mile. It's a little bit too early to decide whether or not who's going to be winning. But
yeah, it looks pretty tight right now.
yeah, there's a huge pack of 3 co-brown girls that just went by a little while ago.
Yeah, I mean this first mile is also mostly downhill, so there's not too much changes.
The real changes start at the 2 mile because that's where you have that uphill.
Yeah, I mean this next section they're going to be going mostly uphill for the second mile. So when we see them at the 2 mile, they'll probably be pretty spread out at that point.
Some more. But so far it looked like Dover, Oyster River, and Pinkerton all had a decent group together within that first mile.
Concord up there as well.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty good, but it's really hard to tell at this point. Depends on also what the strategy is. If teams are kind of trying to relax this first mile, trying to take it out hard.
On the second mile, drop the people.
Yeah, a lot of different things you can do on this course.
Here's our leader, Brianna Malone. She's opened it up a little bit.
Nice job, Bree.
I'll tell you, this seems like a pretty good pace today.
She's ripping it. There's Brooke Marshall, Mackenzie Cook, Fiona Lee, Maya Brochu, Molly Nyan. Oyster River's got 2 right there. Pinkerton's got 2.
Go, Joe. Look up to the right. Come on, you got this.
Concord with a pair right here behind
Concord's
Dover.
got the first 3.
And Dover another one.
There's Pinkerton's 4th.
Come on, Bill.
Pinkerton's 5th's coming into view, so Pinkerton's still early leader.
Yeah, it's separated a little bit more, and there's some other teams up there, especially when we're looking at top 3s. It's where you definitely want your number 4 or 5 to come through. Want your 6 and 7 to be working pretty hard too, just in case something happens. Again, you never know what will happen, even with the team leading at this point.
There's a lot of things that can change right now. We're only 7 minutes and 50 seconds right now into this race.
Yeah, still less than halfway at this point. Right now they're going to go out to that starting field. We got a little ways to get there. And that's more or less that halfway mark. I know when I'm running it, I get to that point, I can start to say, okay.
That's halfway.
Yeah.
Ready to rip. But I think that's a pretty good pace that they've taken it out at.
Yeah, I think Malone knows this course, and she's going to do what she can to solidify her spot. I mean, she had a great year last year at D3s.
You definitely don't want to be around her for the kick.
No.
She's got a real good kick. If she wants to unleash it, there's very few that can stay with her. I'd look for Dover to come back in the second half pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what we saw when we saw him earlier in the year. Bobcat, I'm pretty sure that's what that team ended up doing.
Yeah.
So
They're a smart second half runner.
with that, we'll check them out a little bit later in the race.
Here we go. Brianna Malone, Kenzie Cook, Brooke Marshall.
That gap has closed since last time we saw.
Fiona Lee, she's not out of it yet either.
A little ways in front of that 2 mile mark. Those top 4 separated themselves from the rest of it. And here we go, Bow, Oyster River, Concord. And then coming around the corner, we should have a couple Pinkerton. Concord second.
There's Sheldon Fisher, Cole Brown, their top girl, home course. Dover's number 2.
So Pinkerton with 2,
Yep,
Concord with 2.
exactly. Dover's 3rd right here. Like I said, Dover would come on in the second half. Concord's 3. Right now, battle between Concord Dover, Oyster River's third, so Oyster River's right there. Oyster River's fourth. The Pinkerton girls have dropped back. Pinkerton's third. Oh, Winnicott, Cole Brown, Winnicott, Conval. Oyster River's fifth. Oyster River's in pretty good shape. Dover right behind them. Kennett with a pair. Pinkerton's fifth. Dover's fifth.
So all those fives are right in the same area. It just comes down to who's going to have the best last mile.
Exactly.
Goffstown, Kennett, Guilford, Pinkerton. And with that, we'll see what's going on at the 2 mile mark.
And it looks like we see the first girls coming up. And it looks like it is
Brianna Malone.
Brianna Malone.
Once again, closely followed
by the Oyster River.
That's Mackenzie Cook of Oyster River.
And then Dover.
Brooke Marshall. We got Fiona Lee. Pretty close.
Pretty close. At this point, it's still anyone's race.
Yeah, you got 4 girls there that really, any of them could take that.
Yeah. Oh,
You know.
and there's that's Oyster River, I think. Or no, never mind.
Yeah, Oyster River's
Oyster
2,
River.
Beau's first.
Concord. Is that Concord's second or Concord's first?
That's Concord's first. There's Concord's second, and 2 Pinkerton. You got Co-Brown's first.
And then Dover
Dover's
second. It's a lot more spread out now that like the hills have been into play. Because the first mile, it's all downhill. But
Yeah,
once we're coming,
everyone can hang through that first mile, but once you hit this this second mile section's real hilly.
yeah,
So that's what,
Dover
3 for
for Dover.
Dover. That's Hanover's first.
Concord's.
That's 3 for Concord.
That's Oyster River's. Oyster River's
3 and 4.
So that's gonna throw in some loops, and still it's really close. Oh, there's Pinkerton's. I
That's
think
4, I think. Yeah.
It's really close between a couple of those front teams. Like
Yeah, they're
Oyster
all
River,
right in it. It's really gonna come down to like
Cole Brown's second, I believe.
really who beats who. You know, you got to look down the line at
Is
each
that
team's.
Oyster River's fifth?
Yeah, that might be 5 for them. Dover as well, maybe 4 or 5. I think 4 for Dover. There's Dover's 5, I believe. That's
Still
Pinkerton 5 and 6 probably.
Very close.
And wow, nice pack
7.
of 3 Pinkerton running together. That's
Yeah.
great.
Cole Brown's third.
Yeah, so really this is pretty tight on the team side. I think each runner you got to kind of pay attention to who you're with.
Cole Brown's fourth.
If you're on any of those teams that are going for the win, you got to look around and see, okay, where's where's Dover, where's Oyster River, where's Concord, to try to pick them off, because it's a 2-point swing for every person you get. So
And also those people, they look very close. So right now it's still tough to see.
right, you can get a lot of bodies just with a slight little surge, a couple of seconds faster, and
But
you got five points there.
But Pinkerton, they had that they're like 3. I think it was like 4, 5, 6. Those
Yeah.
are all right together.
Yeah,
That could
that's gonna be
a huge swing.
That's going to be good for them
Yeah.
when they come through. So this last mile, they got a long downhill from this 2 mile. It's pretty much just straight downhill for another 400. And then you got the longest uphill of the course is actually about 2 1/4. Go up a long hill, and almost, actually, no, a full 400-meter hill to the single track section. It's pretty flat through there to the finish, little ups and downs, slight little bump at the 3 mile, and then you're on the track. You just got to finish at that point. But really, once you hit that single track section, it's all flat to the finish, and you just got to race from there. Got about 800 to go, maybe 1,000 at the start of the single track section.
And here come our leaders. A little bit of a change since I saw them last, but still pretty close with about 800 meters to go. This is Oyster River and Portsmouth Christian back-to-back. That is Malone leading it. And here comes Brook of Dover as well as Bedford's first.
Arms, gotta go. Arms down and rip.
Again, another pairing. They'll probably work pretty hard these last 800 meters, pushing each other, trying to get up, get that one spot from each other. And we can see, just like we saw before, bit of separation between the top four and the next crew, although it does look like our next one is emerging from the hill now. That'd be Bose first, followed by Oyster River's number 2, Concord number 1, Pinkerton number 1, Concord second, Pinkerton second. That's a close race. Again, those two teams are teams to watch, in addition with that Dover team.
Come on, Sheldon.
Cole Brown's first.
Come on, Sheldon, you look strong.
Dover with another.
Here we go. Hey, arms down and rip. 800 to go. As hard as you can from here, Allison. You're doing great.
A little bit more of a gap before we get to our next runner.
Ronnie, follow the trail. Come on, Izzy.
Hanover, as well as Dover's third.
Arms down and rip. We need that strong. Arms down and rip. Let's go.
That's our first team we've seen with 3. Bedford, followed by Concord. Oyster River with a couple more. Guilford, Winnicunnet, and that's a third Winnicunnet in a row. That's going to help their team score as well. Conval, Pinkerton racing each other. Again, we're about 800 meters left in the race. This is the single track, although it's getting a little bit bigger year after year.
Come on. Come on.
Great opportunity to try and make a pass if you can be strategic with it, especially coming down this hill using those trees. Got a little bit of a turn here. About 100 more meters or so, then it opens back up.
Looking up. That group. Relax and go rip those arms. Right now, right now.
Now we're starting to see good groups of girls coming through. Cole Brown, Pinkerton with that pair. Kennett, Pinkerton, Guilford, Concord.
Come on, Amelia. Amelia. We take quick steps now.
Oyster River, Bedford, Cole Brown. 800 meters left in this race. We're going to go ahead and check out what's going on at the finish line.
So it looks like we're coming in on that home stretch.
Ladies and gentlemen,
looks like it's
Brianna Malone.
Brianna Malone coming in fast.
No better kick in town than her.
That is for sure. And second place, it looks like Oyster River?
Yep, Mackenzie Cook of Oyster River.
Mackenzie Cook of Oyster River.
There you go, 1925.
Really nice time for this course. And then in third place,
Fiona Doherty of,
Followed by Oyster River.
Fiona Lee of Bedford.
Not a bad time. And then looks like that's Dover?
Yep, Brooke Marshall of Dover.
Brooke Marshall of Dover. Coming in, looks like she'll be just shy of that 19-minute mark. But she's coming in hard. She could still get it. All right, looks like 20:01.
Maya Brochu of Bow, followed by 2 Concords.
2 Concord, that's big.
So Concord's the first one to get 2 in.
Yeah.
Looks like we got a big pack of runners coming in.
And then
See a lot
behind
of
them
purple, a lot
is
of red, a lot of blue.
it's that Oyster
Yellow.
River, and then we got Pinkerton. And followed by Pinkerton, we got a Co Brown, and that's Co Brown's number 1, I believe.
As Sheldon Fisher.
Sheldon Fisher.
So now Pinkerton's got a couple in.
I think that's her second.
Second's coming up right now, and
Yep.
Dover's second.
Dover second. So
So right now it's a battle between Pinkerton, Concord, and Dover.
and Oyster River, they have 2, I'm pretty sure.
And Oyster River, right.
Yeah.
That's 2 for them.
It's really close.
Looks like we got a close finish here.
Looks like,
We got a very close finish.
yeah, is that Dover's number 3?
You got Dover.
Dover
Dover's
has 3.
third.
Dover's gonna take it.
So far Dover is in the lead.
Good job, great job.
First one with 3 in. And is that Oyster River's third?
Oyster River's third.
Conquer's third. They're right up in each other. And then
Oyster River's fourth.
Oyster River's fourth, so Oyster River has the first one with 4.
Oyster River looks like they're in pretty good shape for this one.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a couple more blue shirts back there. I don't know what they are.
Winnicott Warriors. Got 3 of them coming.
3 of them. So that was a nice pack with Winnicott.
A little too far back to cause too much damage.
Yeah.
Very close finishes.
Oyster River's fifth right there.
That's Oyster River's 5th. Co Brown's 2nd. The battle between Oyster River and Co Brown right now.
Bella LeMay. Dover.
Colors right now.
And then there's Dover and another Dover.
A lot of great kicks today. Great performances.
So I think that's
everyone.
Dover's 4 and 5.
Yep.
So that's close. Right now it's between Dover and Oyster River.
This is when it gets tough right here, when all the kids come in together on the same bell curve. Makes it tough when they're finishing, keeping them in straight in line.
Yeah, especially when you have 2 people finishing side by side. It's whoever's body part touches the line first, that's the winner.
Quickly, do not take their time.
And there's, I believe that's Pinkerton and Concord.
That's a tough one when you miss the finish line.
Yeah. And then
Concord's
there's
fifth.
Concord. That's
Good
Oyster
job, all the
River's
runners finished.
6th or
Got some
7th.
more coming on the track right now.
So right now, we know it's a battle between Oyster River and Dover.
For sure.
Might have to give the edge to Oyster River.
Yeah, because they had the top 5 in first, but I don't remember who was in front, if it was Dover or Oyster River for that first front pack, which had, I think it was like top 3, it was Brianna who won, and then it was Dover and Oyster River and I think Concord who were all up there.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
So it's hard to say, but it's definitely for sure between Oyster River and Dover. It's real close, and then fall behind closely is Concord and Pinkerton.
And early on, Pinkerton was taking it.
Yeah.
I mean, they
early-
had 5, way ahead of anybody else.
Yeah, and when
Just goes to show you on this course, second half is
second
very
half is
important.
brutal.
And
Especially-
I'm talking to the best second half runner in the state of last year,
Yeah.
Carter Sylvester.
Especially that hill going up towards single track on that 2nd mile going to the 3rd mile. That's a killer.
Makes a big difference.
Even that tiny hill going up right before the finish line, that drains you.
Yeah, it's definitely not how you go out on this course.
It's how you finish.
Exactly.
It's a finish.
It's not even how you finish, it's where you finish.
Yeah. At this point, you can really, times are important, but at this point, it's wherever you are in the race, place.
That's the most important thing about cross country.
Yeah.
I don't think times mean anything in cross country.
Yeah.
All the courses are different. It's where you place amongst your peers.
Yeah. It's really nice to get that PR, but if you're in a team and you're all top 7 or in the top like 25, that's what makes a great team, and that's usually what wins it.
Exactly.
Working together and having that nice pack time. Top 5 is important, but 6 and 7 could just play as much.
Exactly.
For some
You have that
distribution.
displacement.
Yeah.
And it might be one of those years too, because there's no standout team this year.
Yeah, they're all right up.
Even on girl side and boy side.
Yeah, there's no team that has one specific edge over
Right.
another. They're all really close.
Like in the last few years, it's been Co-Brown or Concord.
Co-Brown, Concord, but
That's it for the last 6 years.
yeah, and we had a bunch of people like leave from Concord and Co-Brown.
Yep.
So that definitely stabilized it a little bit, but all the teams this year look pretty even. All of them have a great shot of.
It's going to make for a lot of excitement.
Yeah, it's going to be close.
Be interesting, but I think it's just a matter of a few points separating Oyster River and Dover today.
Yeah, it's because Oyster River, they had their top 5 first, I believe, but they had Dover, I think, had 5 and 6 right next to each other.
Exactly.
So
no doubt about who won it.
yeah,
Brianna Malone.
Yeah.
She ripped it.
Very good time.
Great
for this
finish.
course.
And Jimmy, she wasn't leading at 800 to go.
Oh, she wasn't?
No. It was neck and neck, so it came down to that kick like you talked about.
Definitely
Yeah.
had a good kick.
She has an amazing kick.
Scary one.
And kicks are deadly.
She's fun to watch because when she engages it, there's very few that can beat her.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 15-minute warning to the start of the boys' varsity race. 15 minutes.
So it looks like we got a few more runners on the track. Bo, couple Goffstown coming down. But with the majority of the girls done and the boys race about to start pretty soon, we're going to go ahead and transition to that. So once again, this has been NewHampshireCrossCountry.com, powered by Runners Alley. This has been your 2021 Black Bear Invitational Girls Varsity Race.